We've had some time in between the last time we gotten together. You heard Ted go through the injury report there. We've had a few guys nicked up, but you know what? The energy has been great. Guys have been working their tails off. They're competing, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun watching the guys work and grow together at this time. So with that said, let's who's ever ready to start us off with a question.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Eric, how you doing today?
Doing good. Adam, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Hey, if you want to call anybody else a competitive prick today, don't let us stop you, okay?
You know what, Adam? That I'm gonna give that hat to you this week. You're competitive all the time, man. Always trying to have new questions in there.
All right, man. Two things for you today. First of all, what's the value of a practice like today's in the stadium since you guys don't have preseason games this year, number one? Number two, you came in about the same time that Travis Kelce did. I know you weren't his direct position coach at that time, but has anything about his career kind of surprised you, or is this kind of the player maybe you thought he would become at this point in his career?
Well, first of all, it was good having an opportunity to get out there today. Had a few fans there. The organization has done a great job of making sure they're doing it the right way, giving the fans an opportunity to participate. They brought some energy. I know the guys felt it. They were vibing off that energy, and it's just good to be back in the kingdom. As far as Kels goes, you know, we've been here all together. What has it been? 7-8 seasons now. And one thing, I'll just say this, just watching the growth and the process that Trav has taken on since day one until now. Every year, he's taken the necessary steps to help himself to improve as a player, all right, to help him improve as a professional on and off the field, but also, too, just growing as a leader, making sure he's challenging himself, but also challenging others to be at their best when their best is required. So it's been fun. It's been fun watching that growth process take place.
Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Good morning, Coach. Thanks for taking some time, as always. I was curious about this impending RB2 battle. It seems like you guys have established Clyde as the guy. And when you're thinking about, okay, who's going to be for that position, I know you guys have a lot of good candidates. Is it a strategy or a better strategy to go with someone who offers something a little bit different than what Clyde has to offer, you know, maybe in the bruiser sense, like a Spencer Ware type of back? Or is it someone you're looking for where maybe it's hard to see any difference in maybe what Clyde can do?
Well, at the end of the day, you just want the best guys available. And one thing Dylan does a great job of is preparing all those guys to be the starter, because unfortunately injuries do happen, and we're going to need all those guys. But with a veteran like Darrell Williams, he's done a hell of a job. I mean, he's smart. I mean, he can run it. He does a great job of picking up the blitz. He's also good in the pass game as far as catching passes out on the perimeter. So the thing is that we want to continue to grow with that position. You know, Darwin's done a lot of great things this camp. DeAndre's competing his tail off, Elijah. So it's been good. But also, too, we want all of those guys to understand the importance of playing special teams as well. Because when it's all said and done with, all of us have to have a role that's going to help us to be at our best. And regardless of whatever hat you're wearing, you have to wear it with authority, understanding that I have to go out there and perform when called upon.
Let's go to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, how you doing this morning?
Doing good, Herbie. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks. I'm going to toss some names out at you, and then the question follows. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Elliott. I mean, obviously, they all have something in common, but I'm curious from your point of view, since you've been in the league a while, are we finally at a point where we no longer look at a quarterback's skin color? We just now call them, hey, these guys are quarterbacks.
Exactly. And you got to understand, I grew up in a day and age where I watched James Harris and Doug Williams do it at a high level. But watching these young guys, these young gunners, you know, they're obviously African-American quarterbacks, and they've done a hell of a job. But just what you said, it's time to stop labeling. If these guys can play the position, let them play. Only thing that you want is to give people an opportunity to be at their best. Those kids have done a great job of relishing everything. I mean, think about it. Russell Wilson, where he came from, you know, being in the league as long as he has, you know, fighting all those stigmas against his height, you know, watching Lamar Jackson come on, a guy, he was a dynamic college football player, and watching him win the Heisman and still doing the same thing at this particular level. I mean, watching Watson down in Houston. I mean, hell, we played these guys the first game, and just knowing what he did against us in those 2 games last year. And then, with us having Pat, this has been fun to watch. But all these guys just want to be labeled as a football player. They want to be labeled as a quarterback. They don't care about their skin color. They just want to make sure that they're representing and doing it the right way and providing a roadmap for the next coming young Black African American.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, EB, good to see you, man.
What's going on, Nate?
Doing well. I have 2 questions for you. The first is about Nick Keiser. Just what has he done to impress you so far as the tight end playing most reps next to Travis? And then from a mental standpoint, what have you seen from Patrick this year that really lets you know he is taking his game to the next level from a mental standpoint based on what he sees in the film and how he's sort of translating that onto the field?
Nick has done a good job. He's done a great job, actually. Coach Melvin, our tight end coach, he's been doing this for a very long time. He's been with Coach Reed since day one. So he knows where all the bones are buried when it comes to coaching that position, because Coach coached it at one point in time. So Coach Mel is experienced. He's done a great job of getting Nick ready. Now, we got a number of guys that are stepping up. We're getting Ricky back in the mix. Ricky's done a heck of a job so far when he's had the opportunity to be out there. Deion Yelder. And also we got the new kid in Helm, and he's picked up the offense pretty good. So we're expecting all of those guys to contribute. And you're going to always hear me say this. We want all of them to understand how important it is to be ready. So we coach our guys to be the starter, because you never know what may happen, and that next man has to be ready.
We've got time for a couple more guys. Let's go Harold and then finish with Sam. Go ahead, Harold.
Hope you're doing well, Eric. All right, brother. My question to you about Demarcus Robinson and Byron Pickle, some of those receivers that, we obviously don't know about we all know about the Tyreeks and, Travis and everything, but how are they relishing getting their opportunities more in this offense this year as opposed to maybe previous years? I mean, we saw Demarcus do pretty well today. So how are you seeing their opportunities kind of flourish more as this offense progresses where everybody's a weapon?
Here's the fun thing about the 2 names that you named, D-Rob and Pringle. Those guys wear a hard hat to work every single day, because the only thing they do, they just want to compete. They line up on special teams whenever Coach Tobe needs them. They're 4-phase special teams contributors. And then if he needs them on the scout team, those guys are constantly running. Those guys understand the importance of if you don't work, you don't eat. So those guys are doing a heck of a job of making the most of every opportunity that is presented to them. As a coaching staff, we trust them because they're smart, they're intelligent. All right, Coach Lewis does a great job of getting those guys ready. And just like I said, when talking about the tight end position and the running back position, we're coaching all those guys to be the starter. They have to be ready when their opportunity is called upon. So when they jump in there, if Sammy's out for a play or Tyreek is down for a play, no problem. Hey, let's roll with D-Rob. Let's roll with Mr. Pringle. Let's roll with Dieter here. All right, let's roll with Kemp. We don't care. We just want those guys to step in and play at the same level as the other guys do.
Let's go to Sam with the last one. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Coach. How are you?
How you doing, Sam?
Good. I wanted to ask you about another receiver, McCall. We talked to him yesterday. I'm just wondering, when you guys left for the offseason last year, what were sort of the things that you pinpointed that you wanted to see improvement on him with the offseason, and have you seen that so far this training camp?
Oh, yes. First of all, we just wanted to see McCall grow in our offense. It's tough as a young player coming into this offense because of the enormous amount of information that we're giving to him. So one thing I thought he did a great job of last season was learning the offense. And we want to expand his role even more into the offense and just keeping him involved. So I will say this, he's done a heck of a job of learning and going out there and doing the things that we're asking him to do. We just want him to continue to work and continue maximizing every rep that he has an opportunity to get out there and getting sinking in rhythm with Pat.
Coach EB, we appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys.